right before I recorded this, I was doom scrolling for like solid 30 minutes. And the crazy part is I was supposed to record like 30 minutes ago, or I was supposed to work on this 30 minutes ago. And it's just crazy because it's so funny. It's subconscious because you don't really understand that like you're literally wasting a lot of time by doing this shit even though you want to do other things. And it's like it turns into this dependency. A lot of people are slowly realizing this shit. It's them distracting themselves because they think that what life they're living is not worth it. Right? It's like, oh, I gotta do this job and fucking whatever. I have nothing to do. I'll just doom scroll and I'll justify my existence with that because it, like, it does the job or whatever. But it slowly starts creeping in this realization that it's not working, it's not doing anything, the time is flying by, and you're just used to being complacent, and that's just the worst feeling ever. The complacency is the worst thing to happen to anyone because it's like I have this internal battle of productivity and complacency, right? And you're not supposed to derive your value from being productive, right? You're more than that. But at the same time, there's a lot of things that you want to do. There's a lot of things that you want to strive for. You don't want to stay in the same position that you are in right now. And so for that, action is necessary. You have to be dedicated. You have to start doing things. The second you're kind of lost and you don't know what to do or you don't know where to start, it's just a very natural reaction where it's like, okay, my phone's right there. Let me grab it. I'll just check what's going on. It starts like that. Let me check what's going on. And then it's a loop. You just keep going. It's designed that way. TikTok, Instagram Reels and shit. All that is designed so you just never stop fucking scrolling until you have to do something, right? And so that's why it's so brainwashing. That's why I call it you learn to be complacent, right? So you keep doom scrolling until you have to do something. Or I have to sleep because I have to work tomorrow, and you never stop questioning this shit. Like why am I doing this? Why is this happening? And so time just keeps going by until you start convincing yourself, oh shit, it's too late. Like I'm this age, I should have done this and that long ago. And so it's like poison. It's just infecting your fucking brain. And it doesn't matter what you're doom scrolling. And this shit happens to everybody, right? These days, especially. Like during COVID, it was a big thing, and after COVID, it got even worse somehow. That's another funny thing. Like after COVID, everyone was thinking, "Oh, we're finally going to go back to being social and hanging out and doing all these things." None of that happened. Actually, it got worse. Isn't that crazy? It got worse since COVID. When you go outside, everyone's so complacent. They're like just so chill, just being by themselves, for themselves, never bothering anybody. Not like they should. But what I'm saying is everybody's doom scrolling. Everybody's rotting in their own way. Either it's these fucking millennials playing their garbage fucking mobile games from like, the ads you keep getting in the subway or the buses or some shit. Or it's just them doing their own thing, just being on their phones, whatever. What I learned ever since I kind of like had more time to think about the shit that I'm doing in my life, it's more like, damn, this is taking up a lot of my time. Not literally, like even if it's like for a lot of people, it's literally right. Like they spend 2 3 hours just doom scrolling nonstop. They can't stop. I have had days like that, but most of the time for me, it's like 30 minutes up to like an hour or something. But that's not the point. The real problem starts where you know you're supposed to start doing something that you actually like, right? But you need to, get up and do it. But let's say it requires some sort of either creativity or a little bit of discipline. And so you just get that quick escape. You're like, oh, I need to do this. I don't know what to do. I'm going to do this now. And so your mind just wanders off, and then you just get distracted. You've been doom scrolling for 20 or 30 minutes. Realistically, you wasted a lot of time. And you know this because if you started doing something that was productive for you, let's say, right, that you wouldn't stop in these 20 to 30 minutes that you spent doom scrolling. But since you did, now you're never going to start, and you're going to keep distracting yourself by doing other shit. And that's like what I'm realizing is that's the main thing about all this. When you try to do something productive, well, quote unquote, I'll call it productive, quote unquote, right? Can be anything like learning an instrument or doing something of your own, like doing your own shtick that requires a little bit of effort, a little bit of you need to sit there and actually do it. You realize that if it's something that you actually enjoy doing, once you start, it's kind of you keep going, right? It's like this snowball effect. When you start doing what you actually enjoy doing, but it needs time, that you actually start giving it a lot of time and you start doing more and more and more. You just have to start. That's the whole thing. You just need to start and then it'll snowball. And you have to control yourself that every time you have to start, that you don't start get those dopamine rushes. No matter what it is. In this video's example, it's doom scrolling because fucking everyone does it. Like legitimately, literally everybody does this shit. And that has to do with almost any addiction. It's the same with fucking gooning and shit. It's the same with nicotine, weed, fucking I don't know, alcohol. That's just how it is. It's fucked up because it halts your progress as a person. And I know that sounds like cliche and corny or some shit. That's literally what it is. Because if you're distracted enough, time will pass you by and you will no longer be willing to make changes because you'll keep convincing yourself that it's too late, even though it's obviously not true at all, right? And the internet kind of amplifies that. You keep seeing these fucking I'm 20, I'm a millionaire, I'm 18, here's how I made so much money. And then you're like, holy fuck, I'm older than these fucking kids now, and they're doing so much more than me. That means it's over, it's all doomed, it's fucked up, I can't do this shit anymore. When you think about it, that's kind of a flawed law. It's like an initial reaction, right? It's flawed logic for your mind to drift away and think about things like that. Because at the same time, there's so many people that were way worse than you at your age and are doing better when they're older, or the opposite, they were like doing great when they're young and then they're doing like shit later down the line. So at the end of the day, just worry about your fucking self. Don't care about these people. And there's always going to be people in like a similar situation as you are in. Like, for example, there's a lot of YouTubers that helped me when I was going through things like this, things that I'm talking about, really. I'm still kind of going through some of them, well, a lot of them. And they're really good because since you know that they're in a very similar position as you are in, and since what they were doing worked out, and they're trying to give advice and they're trying to talk about these things not only for their audience but for themselves, which is kind of what I want to do. Well, it is what I am doing, and I want to keep doing this. And I think that's pretty cool and inspirational because that's the type of thing that you can consume from the internet that isn't slop. It's not brain rot. It's like affirmation. You are capable of doing this. You can do this shit. You don't need to be convinced by these fucking doomers that it's over for you. You're cooked. There's nothing that you can do to make your life any better. And whenever, all your addictions that you have, well, fuck it, they're going to stay with you forever anyway. That's just not how this life shit works. And I don't know. I'm just not convinced that that is the way because I don't know, man. I just wanted to talk about this doom scrolling shit because that's literally what I was doing before I recorded this video, and it really it really fucked with me because that's what I was trying to do. I was like thinking, what should today's video be about? And then I was like, holy fuck, I'm doing it right now. Like this is a problem. It's a problem I'm still going through. I need to learn. I need to be more self-conscious about the fact that I keep doom scrolling when I have to do other things, and I have to replace doom scrolling with other activities that I think would be a lot more healthy. And maybe I'll talk about those things in the future. But for now, for this video, that's pretty much it. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.